Jesus!
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. It all started a couple of months ago. You see, I've been building a mountain bike trail in my backyard, and I ran into a problem. This barbed wire fence is in the way. This would be the perfect opportunity to build a feature that you have been begging me to build for a long time. A teeter-totter, or as us Aussies call it, a seesaw. The plan was simple. Build a big wooden A-frame that supports a massive bridge. When you ride up it, the wooden bridge tilts so you can ride down the other side. What could possibly go wrong?
Whoa. Oh, it's too early for this.
I'm Luke, and welcome to Cutlaps. This video is made possible by today's sponsor, Bluetti. Now, let's get to work. The first thing I need to build is the A-frame that supports the tilt bridge. After taking some rough measurements, I was off to find some logs. This seemed like a simple enough task, but as you'll find out, I encountered a couple of problems. I had the idea of cutting this log in half lengthways for more usable wood, and that's when I came across some critters.
Whoa! I've pissed off some big ant. Oh no, it's that ant's nest right there. No! Ah! Gotcha! Ah! Get off me! You bastard! Oh, holy crap, I didn't realize, but I just dropped those logs on top of a bull ant's nest and now they are angry. Last time I got bit by one of these, it was really painful and my ankle swelled up huge. That's life. Cheeky little buggers.
I left the ants alone for a while and then got to work cutting the log in half. Then it was time to debark the wood, and if you're new here and wondering why, it slows the rotting process, making the feature last longer. Now let's head back to the build site. Now that I have the wood ready, it's time to construct the A-frame. I'm cutting grooves in the log so they slot together nicely. It looks better and it's stronger.
Okay, does this work? I just added a quick screw so that they just kind of balance there at the moment, but I think that's looking pretty good. All right, it's lunchtime, and today I'm eating like an absolute trail building king, all thanks to this week's sponsor, Bluetti. They've sent me the Elite 100 V2 portable power station to try out, and I'm using it to cook my lunch. This little beast packs a whopping 1,024 watt-hour battery, which means I can charge my e-bike twice. So I'm definitely taking this on my next camping trip. It can output up to 1,800 watts with a 3,600 surge, which is more than enough to run my circular saw. And that's actually perfect because I'll be using it later in the video to cut some wood for the build. Super handy because I used to have to go back to the shed when I needed to use the circular saw, but now I can do it right here on site. It's got AC and DC outputs, so I can be charging my cameras and my power tools at the same time. Oh yes, looking good. There's even a Bluetti smart app so you control everything from your phone. And the recharge time is crazy fast, up to 1,200 watt input from the wall, so it goes from 0 to 80% in just 45 minutes. You can also get solar panels for it, which I have to do before my next camping trip. Just imagine you charge your e-bike overnight, you go out riding all day, and while you're out, the Bluetti is charging from the sun, ready to top up your bike again. Sounds perfect, just like this wrap. Check the link in the description for more information and to purchase your Bluetti power station today. Now I'm going to finish this. At this point, I realized I'd stuffed up. It's debatable if the legs on the downhill side would be strong enough to take all the weight. I shouldn't have cut them in half. So I'm going to find 2 more stronger supports, and that other wood won't go to waste. I'll use those as my horizontal supports.
Okay, that looks pretty bloody good and a lot stronger. So got to work screwing them together.
Now we're getting somewhere. This is the axle that will support the tilting bridge, and I need to drill a hole for it through this. Look at that. Perfect. Bang, bang.
It's important to add cross braces as they strengthen the entire structure. And that's why they call it an A-frame.
That looks well good. That's looking bloody good. And the next step is to build the bridge for me to ride on. And to do that, I think I'm gonna buy some dimensional lumber, which will be much easier to work with and get it nice and square. If I was to use trees, well, it needs to be 20 foot long, so they'll be all bendy and warpy and stuff. Keep it easy, keep it quick. Let's go buy some wood.
This next part was a challenge. Building a 20-foot bridge and moving it into place by myself was going to be difficult, and my first attempt failed.
I'm an idiot. I forgot to check how deep I was cutting, and obviously I wasn't cutting deep enough. That looks about right.
Much better. I'd built a half-size box that I would extend later, but even that was too awkward to maneuver easily. I wasn't going to be able to get it in place, slide the axle through, and build the longer platform.
So I took a moment to devise a plan, and I think I've got something that will work and allow me to just build this myself without needing any extra hands and lifting power.
I started by deconstructing the small box and began to build the full-length 20-foot stringers by screwing 3 pieces of wood together per side.
All right, that is one super long piece of wood, and it's pretty solid now. Just need to drill the rest of this hole. If you're wondering why I didn't drill the hole dead center, it's because all of the weight will be pushing down on the top of the axle. So this wood underneath really won't be taking any of the weight. So the thicker I have it up here, the stronger it's going to be.
Working with the individual sides made it a lot easier to get them in place and slide the axle through. And I got my first real idea of what this beast was going to look like.
That is looking so insane. I got those 2 halves on and it just looks bloody awesome. Now I need to join those halves together and square it off. That's the structure complete and it's looking so good. So now I'm going to remove those temporary supports and we'll see how this thing tilts. Oh my God, that goes far. That's so cool.
I built the bridge so it was slightly longer on one side. That way it always tilts back to the starting position.
Oh my God, that's steep. Oh crap. That's massive. This is looking amazing, but I do have one concern. I can see that threaded rod bouncing around and flexing a little bit. I'm not sure if it's going to be strong enough, so I'll have to keep an eye on it, and if I need to replace it with something thicker, I'll do that later on. Now it's time to work on the decking, and I've got all these planks that I need to cut into smaller sections. If my calculations are correct, I'll need about 33 of them. So let's get measuring.
It's so good to be able to use my circular saw out here in the bush.
Only used 9% battery in all those cuts. I'm stoked with that. Let's screw this decking down.
Here's a hot tip. To make sure the decking is nice and straight, I'm creating a string line to use as a guide. Simply line each board up with your string and you'll have a perfectly straight edge at the end.
That is sick. This is getting bloody close to being rideable, but before I do, I want to build a little wooden platform at the start so the bridge just sits evenly on it and has something to like bounce back onto. To smooth out the transition on the exit of the Seesaw, I was planning on building a dirt ramp, just like I did with the entrance, but I came up with a genius idea. Actually, scratch that, that's a lie. Dad came up with a genius idea on how we can actually keep this feature going, and it won't need the dirt runoff just there. So if you've made it this far in the video and you want to see how this build continues, make sure you subscribe so you're notified when the next video goes live.
I ended up using the Hot Wheels kicker I built last year as a temporary exit. The Hot Wheels kicker fits perfectly, so now it's time to test ride this beast. But before we do, let's give away a Cutlaps t-shirt. The winner from the last build video is MTB Adventures with Sam, who left this comment. As a scientist, I appreciate you using the proper scientific name for the kangaroos, Poppy Boys. If you'd like your own Cutlaps t-shirt, you can head to cutlaps.com to purchase one, or simply like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below to go into the running to win a t-shirt in the next build video. Now let's gear up because I've got a mate coming to help me test ride this. You may remember Glenn from some of my previous videos. Here's his first impressions of the Seesaw.
Well, like everything, you come here and you look at it and go, it's big. It's a bit daunting. If you sort of come off, you sort of got this. So anyway.
Are you up to date on your tetanus shots?
And the first time's going to be really scary, but then it'll be fun to ride, I reckon.
Okay, so about to drop. Feeling pretty nervous, but I think it should be fine. This is like 3 times bigger than any Seesaw I've ever done, but we should be right, I think, I hope. All right, let's do it. So just up, drop, and right away. All right, you ready? Oh, Jesus! Oh, Jesus! That was fine to bail off there. You were about to run to try and catch me or something. What was your plan there?
Yeah, I was.
Catch the bike or...
I was going, then I was like, when I could see you were over the barbed wire, I was like, oh, this is going to be all right.
Yeah.
When you were going in though, to me, it looked like too slow.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so attempt number 1 did not go as planned, but I'm alive and it actually wasn't too bad. I just got to have a bit more speed, really make sure I get beyond that tilt point. Let's go.
My next couple of attempts were a lot better, so I decided to link it with the chunky rock bridge A-line from my last build video.
Oh. Nice. Riding that A-line definitely spices it up a bit. That's sick. All right, you gonna have a go?
Well, I better.
My tactic was slow and steady, which didn't work out well for me. Glenn, on the other hand, prefers to come in hot, which almost got him into trouble. He absolutely nailed his first attempt, but on round 2, things got a little spicy.
Easy.
Rightio. Oh, shit.
Oh my God.
Went a bit too fast on that one. Remember I was saying, like, I just want to go as fast as I can because, like, if you're going too slow, you'll get the bobbles. We can go too fast.
That was absolutely awesome. Thank you for watching. Please share this video with your friends, and remember, go dig, go ride, and I'll catch you legends in the next video. Now, watch this one.
Teenage wasteland, oh yeah, it's all a teenage wasteland.